What's going on, guys? So this is actually part 2 of my day on Lake of the Woods up in the northwest angle out of Flag Island. And if you remember, if you watched the last video, for the first half of the day, I was in the boat with Brad Hawthorne and we were pulling blades, catching a lot of walleyes.
That was a legit triple.
And after a quick lunch break, I hopped in the boat with Joel Nelson and we were on a little bit of a different program. We were actually vertically jigging rocks with night crawlers, as you will see. Lovely. I love night crawlers. There we go. Boy Nicker.
Alright, driving over some serious fish, boys. Get them. Yep, our kid. Woo! Son.
That's right.
Blah, 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 blah. Hey, buddy. Do the walleye. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So we're fishing jig and a crawler, and the really important part of this is that wire keepers aren't just for plastics anymore. If you look, this little tick right here, this little bent piece of wire helps keep that crawler on. If we're fishing jigs and plastics, obviously it keeps the plastic up too. If you're fishing minnows, hooks them in the bottom lip. And for crawlers, it can be really important, especially if you've got a little bit of a tag end of crawler sticking out. It keeps that walleye from pulling the whole thing down and off really easily. So key part of the presentation, because the night crawler is hardest up by its head.
So as you could see on this particular day, we were using current cutter jigs, and those are great options. If you're the kind of guy who likes a little bit of variety, I have a few more options you can maybe choose from. Number 1 is the VMC Moon Eye Jig, and this is a great jig. I've used it a lot. It's got the long shank and the wire keeper to hold the crawler on, and not only that, but it has an aspirin shaped head, which is a little bit different than the other options I'm going to show. But this is a great jig, catches a lot of fish. I know it's one of Al's favorite, particularly for fishing plastics, but it works great for crawlers as well. Number 2 is the Northland Whistler Jig, and as you can see, it has a little blade, so when you rip this bait up, it has more flash and vibration, might call the fish in from a little bit farther away. So that's another great option. That's a different look. And the third option is the Clam Tungsten Walleye Jig. It's got the long shank hook, wire keeper, round head, and what's special about this lure is the fact that it's made of tungsten. And tungsten is substantially more dense than lead, which means you get a smaller head shape in the same weight jig. So those are 3 other options you can look into, but we're gonna go back to the fishing.
Yeah,
Ooh.
That's a nicer fish?
No. Ha! Look at that.
That's crazy shit.
Haha, we take those. Look at that.
Nick snagged one, and we're gonna take a smallmouth.
You take those.
Yeah, we should take a picture of him, right? Nice looking fish.
Sweet fish. Well, it's like a 3 something. Ooh, that's a nice one. Look at the belly on that. Holy cow.
Couple nice plays right there.
Couple nice fillets, maybe. Probably not. All right, that is a sweet fish.
Here, put that jig in its mouth. Hold on.
Look at the color too. It looked a little bit different.
So when they're doing that, Let them munch on it just a touch.
All right, so quick tip here. If you're new to live bait fishing, one mistake I see all the time is anglers that they feel the thump on the end of their line and they go whoosh, they set the hook, they pound it. And that is not always the best idea, because when you're fishing live bait, sometimes the fish will just come up and nip it and slowly take it. So it's generally it's a good idea to let them bite it for a minute and then hit them. So general rule of thumb, the longer your bait, the bigger your bait, the longer you wait. The bigger the bait, the longer you wait. So once you've figured out the mood of the fish, if they're crunching it, you can set the hook right away. If they're a little timid, you have to wait a while. Once you've figured out the mood of the fish, take note, because you don't want to let them eat it for too long, because that's how throat hooking happens and that's how you kill fish. So quick little tip there. Now back to the fishing.
So when they're doing that, let them munch on it just a touch.
Just like this.
Like yeah, he called it. Yeah, calling his shot. Big fish right below.
Lit.
Ooh, he's been sampled.
Yeah, a little musky action perhaps. Somebody had a close encounter. Still swimming.
$62 walleye. If you want me to do a little pro tip on hook set, I can sure do that.
Yeah, what do you got?
But you don't want to jerk it really fast, because with these heavier weights from Northland tackle, a lot of times that will leverage against itself and you'll pull it right out of their mouth. But if you feel that tap and then you just go with a nice smooth hook set, a lot of times that hook will lock right in for it. So.
Wow.
Please clap.
All right, guys, so that wraps up my Lake of the Woods videos. I want to thank you guys for watching, but before you go, let me know in the comments section what your favorite walleye jig is, your favorite all-around walleye jig. And also let me know what you guys like to tip it with, whether that's a specific plastic or minnow or a crawler. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and until next time, stay classy, San Diego.